Is Mike Sullivan. I'm a former IRS agent and teaching instructor with IRS. I've worked at IRS in 1973. I've been in private practice for a long, long time. I've worked thousands and thousands of cases. I'm a national expert in IRS tax resolution matters. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I appreciate you being here today. As a former agent, a revenue officer, I actually worked the offer and compromise program. I used to accept offers, deny offers, so you can imagine, you got to imagine how many cases that I've gone through and worked. So what I want to talk to you today about is, how do you know if the offer and compromise is the right program for you? God, I've looked at so many, and so many people have no idea what the program is. So today I want to pull the curtain back and show you what an IRS agent, former agent, thinks of this, and see it, make sure, because I don't want you to spend money on something you don't need to. It's unnecessary. I know at our firm here, I give you a free consultation, but I review your paperwork first. I don't take money from anybody unless I know your offer is going to go through. And I got a high kill and close rate on offers because I've worked so many, but that doesn't mean it's necessarily good for you. So I just want to go through some basic concepts of the offer and compromise, so you know what to look for. If you don't call us, you call around. You want to make sure that you have this fundamental knowledge in your back pocket. First of all your tax returns have got to be filed. You must be current in the year you're in. We're in 2022 now. IRS is going to make sure your withholding is up to date, your estimate payments are made. It's a must, or they'll return the offer. So if the offer and compromise program is right for you, there's an IRS pre-qualifier tool that you can go to find out you fit into the program. Let me just explain to you if it's right for you, because I don't want you spending money you don't need to spend, because people will take your money, promise you an offer, and say, oh, well, your offer just didn't get accepted. They lie to you. I've seen so many of those companies. Usually they're big national firms. So the base rule for the offer and compromise is you must give IRS the total liquidity in your assets. If your assets are worth $100,000, you got to give IRS $100,000. IRS isn't going to settle for any less. They consider that their property. IRS isn't going to discount it. 100,000, 100,000. They do discount your homestead by 20%. But if you add up all your assets and it comes out to 100,000, they want 100,000 as a base to settle your debt. The next thing they look at is your income to expense ratio. That is, IRS has in every region, every county in the United States, what you are allowed to spend for expenses. They have them for food and clothing, housing and utilities, car payment, and maintenance on your car. They are going to lock you into a certain amount of money, which is about 40% of the expenses that you have. IRS will allow for a dollar for everything else. So if you want to know whether the IRS offer and compromise is right for you, you can fill out the form, send them to somebody. Maybe your local pro will look at them, somebody will look at them. But go to the pre-qualifier tool and make sure. So that's the basic thing. They're interested in what your assets are, your liquidity, and they want to know how much money you have left over at the end of the month when applying their national standards. How does that work? If you make $6,000 a month and IRS says you can only spend $5,000 a month, you got $1,000 left over. What do they do with that $1,000? They multiply it by the life of the statute. And that's how they come up with the number. So if you got 5 years left on the statute, that multiplier is 60. So they take that $1,000 left over at the end of the month, they multiply it by 60, and the income asset portion part is 60,000. So they add up your total liquidity, what you have left over at the end of the month, times what you have left over on your statute, that figure, they add them together, and that's your basic offer and compromise. Just don't go paying someone who looks at the form. Make sure these people have experience, and make sure the program is right for you. Okay, just be careful. By the way, if you like this insider information, there's a little subscribe button. I really need those. Kind of moves me up in the rankings, at least that's what YouTube thinks. You're welcome to call me, get a free consultation, or leave comments. I'm happy to return any comment that you have as long as it makes sense. Thank you very much.